Okay, we begin with breaking news this morning, as first reported by our Adrian Wojnarowski. According to sources, the Boston Celtics are trading Kemba Walker and their 2021 first-round pick to OKC for a package that includes Al Horford. As a result, Boston getting financial flexibility, moving off the $73 million owed to Walker, and OKC now has 3 first-round picks in July's draft. All right, beginning with some breaking news once again, we're in for a great show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into First Take. I'm Charlie Arnold, joined by Alan Hahn and Keyshawn Johnson, and we also have Kendrick Perkins on deck because we have this big news that, of course, we need to get your reaction from. So, Kendrick, let's start with you. What is your reaction to the news of Kemba being traded?
Oh, I love it. I see Brad making power moves as soon as he steps foot in the office. I love it. And here's why. He's telling Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, this is your team. Now you don't have to worry about, oh, can Kemba Walker and Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, can they play together? Who's going to share the ball? How can you make this work? We don't have to worry about that. And bringing back Al Horford was huge. He's loved by the Celtics fans. He's respected by the organization. But most importantly, he brings value to that team. He stretches the floor. He's a great leader. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum love Big Al. And look, guess what? Here's a teaching point to all the young fellas out there that are auditioning right now for in the G League, in the NBA, that are trying to get jobs in the NBA or trying to stay in the NBA. Moses Brown played the Oklahoma City Thunder, and he had 21 points and 23 rebounds. You know who was coaching at the time? Brad Stevens. So he says, you know what? Let me snag this young fella. He's a good center. He's going to put pressure on Robert Williams to perform. Rob has a history of being injured. I love this move by Brad Stevens. Celtic Nation should be proud. Beantown, stand up.
Okay. On, you want to go next?
Yes, I will, because there's a couple of things on this. You didn't even mention the fact, though, Perk, that for Kemba Walker, it didn't work. Clearly did not work there. They were trying to find somebody that could play that point position. They still continue that search for Kemba. The contract's too big for, obviously, the injury history that he has. And it just, for the Celtics, though, you still got to find yourself a point guard. Where do they go from here?
Well, they really don't. I mean, when you think about it, I understand you just have to find a complementary piece. When you look at the way that this team is structured, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the guys that primarily dominate the ball. They want the ball in their hands in the open court. They want to get out in transition. So you just want to find a guy that's going to fit well with them, play their role, be able to space the floor, knock down shots. So it's not going to be hard to go out there and find that missing piece.
Keyshawn?
No, I didn't. My bad. Sorry. No, hey, no, I agree with you. No, I didn't hear. I agree with you, though, Perk, 100% in terms of the deal. When you look at it, Kemba Walker goes over a guy who's been in and out of the lineup, hurt more times than not. Plus, they get an opportunity to dump that salary, get rid of it. Yep. Now, you look at it, you say, okay, they go out there and they get a young dude in Moses Brown, much like you mentioned, a big. Not only do they get Al Horford, they get a young guy who's by the way, from New York City, went to UCLA, played in the G League for the Portland Trail Blazers, then came over to OKC. He has a young presence, so they're still building for the future while having Smart and Tatum on the floor for them. So I agree with you 100%. The next order of business, though, for Mr. Stevens, is find out, Brad, who your head coach is going to be. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Rick Carlisle? Is it going to be Sam Cassell? But that next order of business before you move on to do anything else with any players, get the head coach in line, because that head coach is going to want to know who you have so he can coach them up.
You might have to ask those players, too, what they think.
Who should it be? Who should the coach be? Kendrick, weigh in on that.
Well, Charlie, you know I'm rolling with Sam Cassell, okay? You talking about a guy that won a championship in Boston. He's well respected by the fan base and the organization. He's won multiple championships with Clutch City. He's played with Hall of Famers and Elijah Warren and Clyde Drexler and Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. He's been a long-time assistant. And so one thing about Sam, and he's also put in that work. He put in that work in the NBA. Sam Cassell was part of a small big three when he was in Milwaukee with Big Dog and Ray Allen. So at the end of the day, you bring in a young coach like that that's going to be able to get the respect from Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and also be able to hold them accountable, because what are you going to tell Sam Cassell? What can you tell a three-time champion? Nothing.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.